Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am truly excited once again to get started. I never know exactly how these live streams will go, right? If my hair's in place or not. I never know what's going to show, how life's going to reveal itself. But sincerely, if you're finding your way to hear these words now or later, whatever time, blessings to you and thank you. My hope is that blessings and joy become abundant. May blessings and joy reign abundantly upon you and with you and through you and for you, because this life, praise God, man. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you all. The topic today, Awaken from Slumber. Oh, it inspires so many thoughts. Today's Monday. There's been a reputation with Jack. For those who have been along, you know, and to those who are new, blessings to you. I want to speak to all audiences. I want to speak to everyone, but that's a challenge to do. Because praise God, each of us is so unique. So where I'm going with this is it's Monday, and I've been intending, and I've been saying, Jack's going to improve this. Jack's going to improve this adventure and the time, create and share more value for the time and attention you share. Because your time is important, and I care about you, and I care about this whole experience, man, can drive you nuts if you let it. And people will drive you nuts. Actually, the world is gorgeous. It's the people that are challenging, man. So the thumbnail today. Oh, I never got to the point. Point is, I've been intentional about creating a change and being more mindful about how we do the stream. So when I drop the link, which I forgot to prepare myself for, but when I drop the link, I'm hoping to do better. Okay, because I review the streams each day. I really do. I go back and I listen to what I said and see what I missed, and I've been missing opportunities to do better, to demonstrate more of what I am saying, because to me, baby, love is the answer. You just got to find the right question. And in the background of the stream today, that's what it says. Love is the answer. Here with me is the reminder. Love is with me. That's so I don't forget too. But the thumbnail, I asked God, why are you taking me through troubled water? A reply, because your enemies can't swim. We all face experiences in life that are challenging, they're painful, they're confusing, and sometimes these experiences are just downright unfair. It's true based on perspective and timing. Yet you can find comfort and strength if you know within you that everything serves a greater purpose, and the greater purpose each moment serves is the future. And it serves the past, because each moment is revealing the effects of the past, the results of the past. So surrender in the present to be one with God and that which is, in order to overcome the storms, the mental storms, the confusion, the darkness, the battles and the habits and the smallness. This world we were living in, we, speaking as an American, right? We Americans, we've been misled. We've been raised in enabling confusion and deception, and it's been pretty obvious. I used to participate in it, right? Not to repeat the tales, but I support veterans for peace because I volunteered to serve. And today I know my purpose. My purpose here on earth, me individually, my purpose is find a way, be part of the way, ending wars. And in the greatest scope of the world, I got no control over that. I got no influence what the state leaders are doing or what the soldiers are doing. I got no control over anybody. But I have peace in my heart. I have this vision of world peace in my mind, constantly seeing it happen, seeing the change sweep through the world. And it can happen. It can happen today. Awaken from the slumber. Awaken from the slumber. The time to rise is imminent, if not overdue. It is time for us to rise, overcome the troubled waters, the problems of the world, the temporary conditions, the old habits. It's time to awaken from the past so you can rise, so we can rise together. The time for humanity to rise above the old ways, it is imminent. The old ways are collapsing. Look at the news. The ego patterns, the selfishness, it's just absolute insanity. It's overdue, in my opinion, but what I've been learning to trust in God's perfection, trust in God's timing, trust in love and wisdom. Trust in the truly divine things that are available for you to know. Because we're all in this together. This human experience, man. Because of secrets and lies from the past, mankind has clearly brought hell to earth. I don't accept it. See, I used to live in my own personal hell, thinking small as an alcoholic, feeling hopeless and helpless, and proving to myself I was hopeless and helpless, but I didn't even identify as a Christian. I just compared myself to Jesus and knew I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to be loved, and I proved it. And then the world proved it to me once I convinced myself differently, but I don't want to overcomplicate things about me. So awaken from the slumber. The time to rise is imminent, if not overdue, right? So something I was considering about myself, a lesson I've been learning, particularly over the past 7 years for myself. I encourage you to look at you. Have you been seeking acceptance and support from the world? Right? The people and the money system and the job and the, whatever, the daycare or the school, whatever. Have you been seeking acceptance and support from the world? Or have you been seeking acceptance and support from God? I used to seek from the world, and admittedly, it's been an old habit to break, right? That's been part of the discussions I've had, which reminds me. Well, let me stay on this, and I'll try to swing back to that. So ask yourself, it's wiser to seek acceptance and support from God. God is with you. So seek to know, how can I accept and support myself? And then when you've got ideas on how to accept and support yourself, share those ideas, right? Help others help you. That's the idea of living. That's the idea of community. That's the idea of the golden rule. You help others. And if you want something for yourself, help others help you. I'm trying to do, I'm doing, I'm doing me. But here's what I realized. If you seek first to have acceptance and support from God, that will lead to the first. That's what I trust. That's what I've been doing. I got angry at people when I had expectations and hopes that they would help me. They would do, not help me, they would do something, right? I had imagined expectations and hopes that X and Y would lead to Z, but it didn't work out that way. And then I'd get upset. And then I'd feel bad about getting upset. And I don't like feeling bad. You ever do that? You ever get upset and then you feel bad about getting upset? You kind of saw yourself overreacting, and then you either just went with it. You're like, screw it, man. I'm in this motion. Or the other example I lost sight of here. I am about to drop the link. I'll set this up. Normally I do this ahead of time. Today, one of the ideas, one of my inspirations, right? One of the examples I admire, for those who were tuned in, you probably know our friend Zetetic Warrior. He came to mind as far as what I hope to emulate in different ways, the way he has conversations with the guests. And so I dropped the link. Yes, I dropped the link for those who may wish to join. And please hit the thumbs up. We did pretty good yesterday, and I saw that. Praise God. There's many angels in this world. There are many ways for us to shine. And here is a man I missed an opportunity with yesterday, and I hope to do better with today. Thankfully, thank you for returning. Welcome back, Illumitami. Panel versus president.
Shaq, I was transitioning into the backstage. Did you say you wish to be more like Zetetic Warrior?
In the way he does his streams. You as well. I'd love to be more like, well, in ways. You do. I admire you, the way you do streams, Tommy.
Well, you can't be me, Jack, and you can't be Jesus. So good luck with Zetetic Warrior. And you've got to come under a strong delusion about the shape of the planet you're on.
Right. That's been a stumbling block. And from day one, he said he had feelings. It was something, he felt something wrong with me. And so I triggered people's feelings. Hey, Tommy, we've got another guest in the back. Hank is
I'm
here.
sure.
Do you want me to bring him up, or do you want to just deal with something?
You should put him out in the field and have him do some labor for free.
I'm going to bring him in. Welcome, Hank. How are you today, brother?
I'm doing well. I miss Zetetic Warrior when he used to broadcast at the same time you did, so you could sponge up some of the people.
Oh,
To put it that way, it makes the show easy to do, though.
I don't think he was sponging on me. He shines. There's some cool characters, these streamers online. This has been an unbelievable experience the past several years.
I can't believe it either, Jack.
Tommy, what year was it that I started showing up at Paul? You remember?
Approximately lockdowns.
So that was late 19, early 20-ish.
Yeah, I think that's when.
Holy crap. Holy crap, dude. Time is flying by.
Jack, when you were on that dinner hot dog show, did you say that Paul deceived us through his writings in the Bible?
Yeah. His writings have been distorted and used for purposes of structure and hierarchy in the church.
Are you sure about that?
It's my understanding, yes.
Well, your understanding is a bit of a lacking standing, am I right?
Tell you what, I didn't come to these ideas on my own.
I know you probably found regurgitated YouTube garbage. Jack, if there's one true omnipotent God, do you think he would not be able to get us his word and information properly?
Oh, of course, but it's a perfectly designed game.
Shit, I thought I was on my show. I tried to hit the EBT clip. I'm not trying to play a fucking game, Jack.
What was your question again, Tom? I'm sorry.
How has Paul, like, do one of the commandments say thou shalt kill or something?
One of the distinctions that I saw pointed out, okay? So yeah, some of this was on YouTube, but they point out facts and I consider the facts.
I'll be the judge of that.
Well, in the writings of Paul, it points to the believe in the name and you're saved. It talks about faith without works even. And where Jesus and the others were clear, no, it's through the works your faith is shown.
No, that's the Catholicism deception. It is faith. Now, not through works, but of good works. So, if you remember the meme of the guy sweating which button to press, that meme, he's doing a shaka bra to press both buttons at the same time. It's not of works unto good works.
Of works unto.
So that's why you won't become a Christian and just go out and Hitler all day, because you will undertake a change.
I'm sorry to interrupt or to deflect from where you were at.
Mm-hmm.
You meant your words, though. I was thinking about your words. New age. I think you said new age guru.
Mm-hmm. Also, give up your channel.
Now, come on.
Of course. You're so threatened by Jack having a channel that you need everyone else you don't like to just give up their channels.
Chocolate rain.
I'm sorry you can't maintain
Hank,
follow policy and
there is
code,
a type
but it doesn't mean
person.
everyone else has to give up their channels just to appease you.
Did I say everybody else?
Well, it's Jack today, it'll be me tomorrow, then everyone else the next day.
No, Hank, you're completely irrelevant. I don't care about your channel. No, there is a type of person, Jack, Bex, maybe some other people I can't think of, that to host a channel absolutely becomes Mr. Hyde of them. But whenever they visit channels, they're perfectly Dr. Jekyll. Something about that ring to control them all. Something about that host ring. It makes a Smeagol out of many people.
You're noticing the difference. And so it looks like it's playing different characters, but the difference is the different environments. When I'm at when I click go live, I'm really trying to bring something particular through. And when we get
rarely do you, but yeah, man, you booted me yesterday whenever I came up after you're like, oh, I want him to come up and talk to me and Rose. And then when you bumped into me on Truth or Cop, I was going just as hard at you, and you were just perfectly Jack Schwill about it. It is the mod god ring. It corrupts Jack.
Hey. But you're a mod spook too. I mean, I saw you boot the freak, so I don't think so. So you don't really have good ground to stand on when it comes to this.
Well,
Here,
you don't understand context. I don't have to
Of
allow
course, I'm too
every.
stupid
I
to
don't.
understand what I'm looking at. Of course. Dalmy's the
I'm starting
smartest
to
guy in
agree
the
with you.
panelverse. Of course. That's why
please,
he made
I'm
himself
starting
the
to. I'm
pan
starting
president,
to
and I
agree with
deposed him
you.
in January.
please.
I couldn't tell what
Tom,
he was saying.
when you showed up, I reviewed yesterday, and I admitted earlier today that I missed an opportunity. And
Just yesterday.
no, not just
That's what I'm
yesterday.
saying, Jack.
Hey,
You have a
please,
long trend of garbage when you're hosting with the mod
dude,
god Iron
Tom,
Fist.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but by the time you showed up yesterday, dude,
Excuse me.
there had
That's how
been
you interrupt.
there had been so much, man. I by the time you showed up, I was already drained, I guess. I was in the wrong state. How about that? I was in the wrong state when you showed up.
Yeah,
And
Washington's a shithole. Where they have the Chaz Chop thing.
dude, I love you. Can we welcome old Joe as well?
Hello, sir. How are
Like
you
you
doing
have.
this afternoon?
Feeling blessed, truly.
I haven't been on for a while, but you mentioned something that was very interesting to me because I have this question to pose directly of Illumitomi. I've never posed it to him. In my time on your panel, Jack, we have had at least 3 separate individuals come up here and claim outright that while they're here on the panelverse, they're playing characters. I'm sure you recall those. I do not believe Illumitomi is playing a character on here. Tommy, am I correct or no?
I do a fair amount of acting, but acting is not synonymous with lying.
If you just try not to dodge the question and just answer it directly, is this you that we're talking to or a character of you?
I act honestly, but I've been known to put energy where energy may not be emphasized, but if it's for the theatrics, I might.
Okay, so what I'm not hearing is a clear answer. The other people were very clear.
I'm not being something I'm not, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I get it.
Jack has abused the word character, so I'm not sure. Not sure
Well,
what
I'm just using their definition. I believe you're being who you are. I believe that's true. I do not believe you come on here. I believe there are other people that do, but I don't think that's you.
I think Tommy's
Okay.
pretty honest and forward, but he has fun. We got
Well,
another
and you see the difference it makes, right? Because it would matter how you address that person. It would matter what kind of questions you asked if you figured that they were on here as a character as opposed if they weren't. If it was a play or not.
I would partially attribute it to my early days with the unslaved cult and Paul Enslaved, because if you came on with information and things like that, he'd say you're too boring. If you came on to have a good time, do some bits, he'd say you're not using any information. So I've merged the two as best I can.
Right on. Can I ask you to expound on something you said earlier? Would that be okay, Tommy?
Is it whenever I told Hank he was stupid?
No, you said if there were a God Almighty, then don't you think he would be able to deliver his message accurately and correctly? Can you
Well, I
expound on
kind
that?
of said that. I,
Can you
I
expound on
said,
that
do you
and
really
bring up
think?
any mistakes?
I was asking Jack if he believes that if the one true God has words for us, that he would allow that to be corrupted.
Okay, do you mind expanding on that a little?
I actually did a LARP church where I explained. Well, I didn't explain it. I used one of my preferred pastors online who said it better than me. He pretty much explains why the Bible hasn't been manipulated or written to teach us wrong because of the historical process and protection that was done to the Bible. You could never round up all the copies. Some sects of monks had actually memorized it to protect it. And then we eventually found like scrolls hidden away in basements of old things. Uh, So yeah, in order to manipulate and rewrite the Bible to bamboozle us, you'd have to round up all the old ones, and that's virtually impossible.
Okay, I think I get where you're coming from. I'm curious as to what Hank's thoughts on that are, what you just said.
Yes. So the Bible was written by man, and there's a bunch of we could look at the anthropological record to see how it came apart, how it was put together, which groups were involved. So so the original Bible has been modified quite a bit before it comes to us. It's not even its original language. So just over the process
Oh
of
yes, yes.
editing and are you Hank? Over the
Oh
process.
God, no.
Yes,
Please.
shut up. Then he asked me a question. So over the process, over just the constant editing, of course, it would be different than its original form.
Right, but if you ask where the bathroom is in Japan and you say it in Japanese, will they show you where the bathroom is?
So, Tommy, I'm going to ask it's a very difficult question, and it could be very poorly framed. So, if you don't, I'm trying to conceptualize something, and
Bring it on.
I want to put a concept to you. And if I ask the question poorly, ask me to clarify. In your statement, you imply that God will leave no room for us to misinterpret His word. Am I correct or no?
No, I think people can misinterpret, but I don't think it's done as much as some Talcottian gurus would imply.
Yeah, but let's leave the individuals out of it. I implied from your statement that an all-knowing God would know how to transmit his word to us perfectly. Did I misunderstand your statement?
The word he wants us to have is here, um, and the actual message and process of Christianity, it's pretty cut and dry. The few things that are interpreted different ways or debated on don't really interfere with the grand scheme of Christianity. Like whenever we talk about various denominations, the denominations aren't out here feuding and disagreeing. It's more like they each specialize in directions rather than disagree. But of
So let's
course, Mormons, Catholics, that's deception.
let's use your terminology of grand scheme of Christianity, right? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, I loaded that one for you. I figured you'd
That's okay. That's okay.
have a good time with that.
We'll just agree on that, right? Because we could spend forever pulling that apart. So the
Mhm.
people that go against the grand scheme of Christianity, are they doing so consciously?
I have to know how they were particularly against it.
Yeah, and Tommy, it's a very complex concept, and I may not be wording it properly. What I'm saying is if God is capable of transmitting his word to us flawlessly, then anybody who does not receive that word, who is responsible for that?
Well, the
That's
only
the
way we
question.
can ask what about people that never heard the Jesus story, the only way we can ask that is if we've heard the Jesus story.
Okay, so
And
those people that have heard and turn away
mhm,
or have misunderstood it or have not gotten it, who bears
mhm,
responsibility for that? God or those people?
those people. Because the one thing a lot of people neglect is you can ask God for help in understanding and finding that thing.
Okay, so then it follows that those people are doing this consciously. They must be doing it on purpose.
Hmm.
You mean to walk away from?
Yes, so we would
Yeah,
agree
that
on
would.
that. Now, yeah, here's the last
Yes,
question
Hank,
I have.
that would be free will. Yes.
Okay, so the last question I have is that evil?
Um,
Hmm.
it's not evil. It's detrimental to one's soul continuance well-being.
Thank you very much, everybody. That was a great conversation. I very much enjoyed. And Tommy, thank you very much for answering the questions.
Sure.
Sincerely, both of you. Those were great questions. And Tommy, thank you.
No
All
Talcott
right.
needed.
I am going to jump down now. Thanks for having me up. Hey, thanks for answering you as well, Hank. I appreciate all you guys.
Yes, much love. Welcome. Thank you, Joe. I think 5 Speed joined, and I don't know if you've had a chance to say hi yet. Have you? Welcome.
I did not, but good to see everybody. I wanted to, I was more interested in the conversation. So,
We've had some good ones, and welcome to you, El Perro.
Greetings, Jack.
Well, I know 5 Speed's interested in conversation. I'd much prefer we could tear each other down.
we could tear each other down, but that gets old, man. It does. We can have fun. We really can. Because Tommy, you are a fun guy. There's no denying that. And I don't know. Here, El Perro. I didn't even let
Wizard,
you.
your old hanker faggot. There. Had to get it out.
El Perro, go ahead. You got it.
Well, you know, with Joe and Tommy there, I'm going to reiterate what is it? Romans 2, verse 14. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by their nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. So it's more of our natural actions in life, in how we perceive this or observe this God, is actually in our nature. If we can see God around us in the nature and observe how that life expresses itself, we can learn better how to express ourselves. I think that's my concept of God.
Love that.
Why do you want to express yourself?
Ooh, because we have the opportunity to express the light of God. Here, this was a prayer I did, and not to share it, but a kind of a mental exercise, humbling myself. And we can do it here in the present, just anytime. Just humble and be in the present with the breath and with the mind, the heart and mind and breath together, united in
Those
the
are
present
words.
with the gift of God. So inviting God's light to shine. And if you close your eyes, you can kind of feel or envision and feel light coming into
I'm not
you.
closing my eyes in a room of you four fucks.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But bring the light of God into you. And if you go silent within, you can feel energies and
Is that
feel.
biblical?
Do a mind scan, right, from the top of your head down into the bottom of your feet, so you feel the life who's here right now. Because the life who you feel, the life who you are the light that God has sent into the world to be the light in the darkness, to
I
discover.
want you to try a new mental exercise, Jack.
Okay.
From now on, when you give spiritual how-tos, I want you to think, would this be compatible with someone in Auschwitz? Like, is a person condemned to Auschwitz going to find God through a bliss and a feeling?
Here, how about this idea? Because this was what you just asked. It's a couple of. I get faced with that, and an idea I had: if you allow yourself to be wrong, you can believe in anything you want, right? So even in the midst of the storm, if you can believe that your mind is escaped, that your body is fine, whatever, you can escape and you can overcome. I heard practices of like these spiritual devotees putting themselves into these crazy positions, causing their bodies pain so that they could
David Blaine.
overcome. Well,
He froze himself in black ice, put rods through his arm and stuff. Parlor tricks, Jack.
possibly.
You cannot self redeem. You can't self save, and these people you discuss sound like the fake kung fu masters.
Tommy, here's where I'll agree. You can't self-save, but following the way of Christ, you can go to the Father, you can go to Jesus to give you the strength to be with you in the pain, to help you escape the pain, to overcome it.
Some
That's
would
what
say to acknowledge it instead of being off in some ice cave somewhere.
Well, dude, that's kind of what I'm trying to do in a different sense, maybe different than you were thinking. Mama Suli, blessings to you. Thank you for the choice, the support.
Oh, so let me read a Bible verse for you. Isaiah 41:10. That's what Living Without Fear is based on. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So it's biblical.
Unless it's your time to go, or you've backslidden and you're being corrected, or context.
It's biblical. I just
But
started
yes,
the Bible. And
but yes,
answers.
so we aren't to fear, because fearing is like praying to the devil. It's like telling God you're not confident he's got your back.
So
Jack, you should
so you
fear.
criticize Jack for not knowing the Bible, and now I'm calling question your knowledge now.
Are you
Yeah,
sure about
that's
that?
basically.
No, I knew you didn't know the Bible last year, at least.
Well, I can't recite it, and I don't slander Jack for not knowing it. I slander
You
Jack
can't even
for
look it up.
contradicting and speaking.
So you do
against
slander him. So you do
Please.
slander him.
There you go. Thank you, brother.
Slander you too. I slander you too, Alpero, and I know I'm good at it because you're still too scared to watch that video.
Oh no, it's not a matter of being scared. I don't want to promote any of the bullshit that comes out of your mouth. So why would I?
Oh, well, it's not bullshit. Actually, if we want to talk about who spews bullshit, that'd be you.
Here, please pause. Please pause. El Perro, I don't know which one he's talking about. Some of Tommy's creations are fun. If you haven't seen it, whatever he's talking about.
It's like Rose said yesterday. It's a good, healthy serving of showing people's contradictions.
It is. Dude,
Mhm.
you shine. You do shine. There's many people who shine. We all shine in different ways. Some people
What's
shine.
growth? What's
that?
growth without contradictions?
I don't know what that means.
I think that's
We should
yes.
try not to contradict.
I do know what that means.
Yes.
Because I actually read.
And that's a profound statement too, to kind of think through that for growth, there must be some sort of resistance to the growth for the strength to become right. And through the resistance, it's an opposition. It could be said it's an opposition. So there's an opposition to life, but life wins. Life overcomes. Nature shows us that, and history kind of shows that about people too. I mean, if the stories are true that there were these floods and resets of time and all sorts of crazy crap has happened in the past.
Those stories are true. But 5-speed, did you mean contradictions as in to remove them and go past it and stop contradicting?
Well, I think it filters through the lens. How could you not grow without change? There's change there. So in that change, there's contradictions. So if there's no contradictions, there wouldn't be any change. There wouldn't be any growth.
Well, you can change and not contradict. But I agree, you are growing to get rid of contradictions that you find in your life.
As long as that observation, I believe, is coming from a moral foundation.
How about
judgment?
How about this? That idea of contradiction as well. I was thinking that more. It's balance between the dark and the light, masculine and feminine, good and evil. But there really is no oppositional force to good. Evil
Yeah,
is
there
just
is.
a manipulation of good.
Jack, there are men in this world that would eat your son's face to show you what's
I
coming for you
realize
next.
that, Tommy. I realize evil exists, no doubt. But consider even the numbers in the story, right? 1/3 of the angels. So 1/3 of the goodness that was created became corrupted. But the goodness is still there in the heavens and in the earth, right? But the devil works in the darkness, it works in confusion. And
Actually,
go ahead.
he's an angel of light. He wants to appear to be Jesus, and the only confusion is he will slightly manipulate the word of God to steer you wrong, like when Jesus fasted for 40 days in the desert.
And
That's
who
what
created him?
He
God.
became Lucifer by his free will to
Yes, but who
revolt.
created him?
God.
Exactly.
God
Well, what do you
created.
mean exactly? I go panel to panel, and everybody in the chat and panels are always like, "Oh, God created it all." Yes.
Yeah.
Problem.
No, this
Hold
is the.
on, Hank has not answered me. He's such a smart boy.
I'm
What's your
sorry.
point, Hank?
Oh, let me read my point. So I'm going to quote Isaiah 45:7, my favorite Bible verse. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. That's my
Yeah, but
point.
what was your point?
That is my point.
Okay.
In that scripture, are we not like God?
No.
We create good and evil in our lives.
No, you
Mistakes.
do
Well,
good and evil.
this kind of goes back to that concept of growth requires opposition. We learn through the pains of.
Resistance.
What's that?
I would say resistance.
Yes, I agree. Resistance is a better, or opposition even.
I am that to you, Jack. Yeah.
You have been, and at the same time, you've
I
been an
will.
incredible teacher. So I've learned.
Imagine if you had been compliant with it.
Imagine if we communicated well together. Holy shit! When we understand each other, we're gonna have so much fun together, Tommy. We really are.
I'm not the one with the button to boot me, Jack. Let's have some accountability for your last week or two.
Fair enough. Here, back to the topic. Go ahead.
I understand why his last week. I mean, Tommy doesn't have a roof unless he borrows one from someone else. He does all the time, but he still broadcasts. So I don't think it's a big deal.
What are you saying, Hank?
I'm saying it's not his last week, obviously.
Well, he's gonna be busy.
No, Hank.
Don't forget, Hank, I'm ruthless. That's voluntary, no matter what you and your flow state want to try and narrative it as. And that makes you the bad guy.
Which is why you have a roof every time you host a panel. Oddly.
Right. And do I have to pull up when you used to say, what's the deal with you having a roof? You said you're going roofless for Jesus. So we see, Hank, no matter what I do, you're going to be a contrarian.
I said, and I quote, you were couch surfing for Jesus.
No, I'm not couch surfing.
Here, actually, I think what Tommy was pointing at when he was describing me was the recent week with me too. Not so much. I don't know.
Everybody in the memberships has observed me sleeping in graffiti tunnels with rapey cubicles built in them in Denver. Like, I'm doing what I said I'd do. And when you try and take stabs at it, Hank, it just shows the tism is strong in you. The Discordian lives on.
Here, back to the conversation where God creates the light and the dark, right? And and here's what I truly believe. God wants us to rejoice in the knowing, right? not to fear, not to hate, but to truly trust in God. And I know God is love. A lot of people
And
are afraid.
jealousy. And wrath.
No, not the
And
God I
vengeance. Well, you
well,
don't fully know the God.
fair enough. You are right. And I leave those things for God because I follow Christ.
But you don't want to end up on the receiving end of that stuff, do you?
I surrender to God each day.
I know you like to say that, Jack, but you showed us on the dinner hot dogs show. You're not up on that thing. I was surprised none of them called you out as like, dude, are you a Christian? I think a couple of the guest questions kind of implied, well, I am a Christian in this. And I never even remembered to get to the whole Paul question until today.
Here, sorry to interrupt. There's a thought I wrote down that I wanted to kind of dance around with, and maybe we can talk about. The idea that, well, it originated with my vision, my hope, right? Trying to have a place or to be heard in Washington, D.C. and the UN or whatever. That's my dream, right? My dream is uniquely created for me. Your dreams are uniquely created for you. Your nightmares are as well. Everything in life is uniquely created and revealed for each of us. And somehow it all perfectly comes together.
Yep, Jack, I gotta say, you know, Britt says down in the chat, Jack doesn't know the Bible. He just jumped on the Jesus train. Oops, lost it. Jumped on the Jesus train, not knowing any of the stations of the cross. Well, this is the beginnings of everybody that wants to search for Christ and God. They don't know it. They have to learn it.
Right, but if he is going to say he's seeking learning, then we have to acknowledge he takes his platform and misprojects what Christianity is about. You do
No,
too.
I don't think he's misprojecting anything. I think he's giving the story of how
Well, that's how I know you're not as up on it.
He's telling his firsthand experiences of how he sees it. And
We don't
he's
find
never
God through that.
Yes, you do.
Dude, Tom.
Not through our ways we see it, or God will be a
How do you
pedophile
know?
for
How do you
some.
know? Are you the arbiter? You are
Here,
not the arbiter.
No,
Other
I'm
people's
just a
observances.
follower of.
Please pause.
See, this is this is what happens. As soon as I give some pushback, you guys start, oh, you're the master expert.
No, you're not. You're not pushing back. You're interrupting and won't let a man speak.
El Perro, please.
Oh. And what was it you said on Flow State? Only a real man, or no, a not real man would want a fair panel or some shit?
I never said.
Okay.
Hey, don't mod God him, but he did say that. I have the receipts. I'm the lore master.
To get you to stop, both of you. You're feeding
I'd
each
be
other.
a hypocrite. I'd be a hypocrite if I sat here and said, I'm okay with Wizard getting mod godded.
Fair enough.
C5 speed, I'm seeking out those not contradictions.
Your defense has been noted. For the record, he spoke in support of El Perro. We got deflected from what I said by the comment from the chat. So let's bring it back around to what I was trying to communicate. Each of us, think about this idea. Your dreams, your nightmares, your life is uniquely revealed for you. And all of us, we're all a part of this one unique day.
And we are to forsake that and pick up that cross.
Well, to pick up our cross.
We've been over before. That's why you can't answer, because we've done this before, Jack. You are to forsake your individual ego life and pick up the cross.
Correct. And that is exactly what I've been doing. I picked up the cross. I believe that peace on this world is more important than any other part of my life. Social life, entertainment, economics.
Where in the Bible are we ordered to end anything that plagues this world?
I'm not looking at what I'm ordered to do. I'm seeking to know what God might allow me to do. And if I walk with Christ, well then...
Also in that book.
In the book, it says, right? Walk with Christ.
It also does give us the 10 Commandments. It also does give us the 10 Commandments telling us what not to do.
Right. Okay. Yes.
That was the only part of the Bible not written by man. We know the Bible was written by men. We know which men wrote it, but the only place that wasn't written by men, the 10 Commandments.
You mean the 10 Commandments were written on a stone by God?
By his very finger, yes.
Let's pause, please. Because I just recognize I'm already failing to follow through with what I said I was going to do. I said I wasn't going to just open up for a full panel. So.
3 more, baby. 3 more to go.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. What a beautiful day.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
Jack, I appreciate that. And you know me, I really don't want to be part of all the Discord and stuff. So I'm not leaving in a huff or anything. I'm going to let you have your due respect and have your small panel. Let me know if you want me up. I'll be back. I'll be down there.
Thank you, brother. Much love to you. Respect.
Let us know if we want him.
Tommy. Here, let's get on to topic. Awaken from slumber. Yep.
Every day.
Well,
by the grace of God.
To certain how awake are you? And what does it mean to be awake? And what are you awake to?
I woke up today with morning wood.
Hey, Stephen?
Yeah.
Your clown show juvenile behavior is not going to be tolerated today?
No clown show at all. I'm here to...
And he's only clown showing the part that's mysteriously sounding like what if CAT really spelled dog.
Hi, Tarek.
Hey, King Stephen, how are you? Hey, Jack, everybody, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good. So, Jack, can I say something real quick, if you don't mind? Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Okay.
One thing I would say about Tommy, with all the stuff that he's been through, he has been proven that he walked the walk, did what he did, and even with he's houseless and all that, he's still pushing his message. And on top of that, I truly respect the fact that he really goes on the Bible. Like literally everything he says is from the Bible. That's just my point. Thank you for letting me know. I yield.
Thank you, Ty.
Except all that faggot stuff that's not in the Bible.
Well,
nigger faggot, not in the Bible.
You've got a filter that is different than mine. And let me address, Stephen, you're in the back because of the constant interruptions. You've been warned and warned and warned.
My God.
I'm done. Please. Thank you. I'm done for today.
Bring Stephen back up.
Why?
He's just being endearing. He's your co-host.
No. He's a leech who leached onto the title, falsified, saying he was pretending to be supportive of me, like old Joe was asking. He's Stephen admitted he's a character. He's
right.
Shit about
but
me.
he's a leech, Jack. Like he tried to get on Anton Daniels and Paul Enslaved and some Asian Galactic Federation guy, and he just leeched off of him.
So Jack, why even take Tommy's opinion? He said on this very show that he wants you to shut down your show. So why even take his opinion seriously? He could just change the channel.
Do you understand why I told him I wanted him to stop his show?
Actually,
because we covered that too, Hank. Can your socialism awareness tell me why I wanted him to end his show?
Because he's not biblical. But the problem is that you aren't biblical either. You don't know the Bible.
That wasn't the reason.
So you should end your show before Jack does, just to be consistent.
The reason I feud with Jack is because he's not biblical. It's not the reason I told him to end his show.
And so the reason to end my show, what was that, Tom?
So that you can just Dr. Jekyll from panel to panel instead of Mr. Hiding as a mod god. Bex is the same way. Paul Enslaved is the same way.
Tommy is worse than all of them, though.
And it doesn't actually benefit me to do that, does it?
It doesn't benefit you to continue.
But it benefits you to continue.
Actually, Hank, please. Thank you. Thank you, sincerely.
That's racist, Hank.
Tom, it actually doesn't benefit me to entertain people like you.
Okay.
Okay. But I do.
Jack, did you get my private message?
I'm pretty sure I did. I can't recall.
Okay, I'm glad you did. So, whenever you put it out there, put it out there. You know what I mean.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, somebody's been, always coming at you.
Oh,
and
thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Oh,
reminder. Yeah. Okay. No.
I'm always looking out for you and the truth. You think that I'm, ball washing and all that. No, it's not about that. It's about the truth. So, whenever you feel like doing it, when the guy gets out of hand, you have it.
Thank you, Tarek. I appreciate that reminder.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Stephen claims he brings people here. Possibly. He also, people turn away when you show up here, Stephen. These are comments he's got from the back. Geez, holy cows, man. I'm treated worse. This is unfair. I'm here to help. You call me a leech. Yes, I did, Stephen. Yes, I did. My options here, do I continue entertaining the juvenile arguments and the puppet King Friday? And I was reminded there's evidence of Stephen talking quite opposite of his support here. The topic today, Awaken from Slumber. Where I was going with that is truly, I never realized how subconsciously I had been living. I didn't realize that my conscious mind had been filled with confusion and conflicts and memories. And I didn't realize that my mind was the source of my problems. But by God's grace, God has allowed my mind to be blown. I've been allowed to experience some pretty unbelievable things. Many others have as well. We're living at an amazing, kind of unbelievable time. But if you humble yourself to the truth, without God, life is unbelievable. It only becomes believable when you allow it to be true. And if life is true, ask yourself, where am I asleep? Where am I ignorant? Where is the limits of my knowledge? Because in that exercise I was mentioning earlier, if you pause in the present with the knowing, God is eternal, Christ is eternal. You can know God without knowing Christ, I believe. But can you know Christ without knowing God? Not if you don't believe. And so I found myself humbled in this life to the point, if we bring ourselves into the present, God is eternal, Christ is eternal, I am temporary, I am here and now, I am an expression of the light of God here in the present. What is light? Light is that which illuminates the darkness. So for you to shine the light of God through you, you must overcome your inner darkness. Your inner darkness is going to be found behind excuses and blame. The excuses and blame we find where we want to shift responsibility somewhere else, whether it's God, whether it's whatever. We want to feel unsettled feelings, we'll make excuses for them. We'll blame others for how we feel. It's all just a state of mind and a state of being. So awaken from the slumber. If it wasn't for God, none of us would have any importance whatsoever. So then what is God? Well, God is the truth. Well, as the Bible says, 1 John, I think, God is love. Love is divine. Love is holy. Love is uncorrupted. Love is pure. When we align ourselves with Christ, that is the goal. To be renewed in Christ is to be reborn into something new, where you no longer live for you, for a paycheck. You no longer live for the past. You live for God in the present. And if we focus on the future more than the past, we'll start helping each other. Because you don't want to leave someone dealing with a problem. You don't want to be left with a problem tomorrow, not if you can solve it today, right? That's what I realized for myself. God allowed me to awaken. And what I mean by that, it's by God's grace. The words in the Bible are true. What Jesus spoke is true. Love, forgiveness, what was from in so many ways, man. Repent, change, align yourself with the life you've been given, because the life you've been given has been uniquely generated, manifested, offered forth for you. Each day, God brings forth our awareness and our consciousness of life. We each learn different things. We each discover different things. But I tell you what, when mankind unites together, there will be no space nor time here on earth for evil. That's the reason we're created, and that's why we were given the example of Christ. That's what I believe in. I've been going on. Please stop.
No, I agree, Jack.
I'm going to bring Stephen back up, I think. Offer another chance. Thank you for your patience, and I hope we can support each other a little better, please. Stephen, are you there?
Thank you. Yes, I'm not a leech, Jack. I think you're a leech on the world.
Why do you believe that?
It's not really a belief. It's demonstrated by you calling people leeches and clowns, and you don't do anything to contribute to the world. You don't work for a living. You leech off everyone, and you are what you call me and call others. That's you. No, that's you. I don't leech off anyone.
I mean,
I don't
have you
beg
seen
for
your
shekels.
own show, King Stephen?
I don't beg for shekels. I earn my own living. I've seen my own show. I'm talking about bigger than YouTube.
I'm bored with you already, Stephen. Thank you. Margot, how are you today?
I'm fine. I was coming up to say hello to Stephen, but I guess I won't.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Golly geez. All right. Well, let's have us a chance, because I was reconsidering last night.
Yes, my dear.
I want to thank you, Margot.
Yes. What did something I say resonate?
Well, it was me. I recognize within myself I was still carrying unforgiveness. I was still carrying resentment. It was shown through my frustration and my tone. But you're strong, and you look past my offenses many times. Although other times you didn't look past offenses. But thank you, Margot.
You're welcome. You know, I really enjoyed, I don't remember her name again. I just forgot it.
Rose. And actually,
no, it wasn't Rose. It was Rose is here. It was the two women we were on panel with last night.
Oh, LCJC and Miss Kitty.
Nurse Kitty.
Nurse Kitty.
They were lovely, and we really all have quite a bit in common with the trauma that we've gone through and our growth. And, you know, I was kind of reflecting in the back for a while before I turned it off. You know, you basically had three mother hens telling you what to do. So you did well, and you opened up, and you were raw. You showed raw emotion. And I think that's healthy and that's cathartic.
Thank you. I still don't know what the future's going to bring. Here's where I don't have to do anything, but I've learned I get to surrender myself to God's will for me, to trust that the Holy Spirit will lead me to the answers and to the experiences that serve God's greatest purpose for me. And so I surrender me, and I invite Christ to lead me. I still don't know what the hell to do. I know what's in my heart. I know that me and many others will be super excited when Dominic and I talk together, when solutions are found for my future. I know I won't be alone. There will be a lot of people excited for that. But I keep finding conversations directed at my failures. And it's been an interesting experience to navigate, but truly, God's been preparing me for something big, and I'm just like everybody else. So I believe there's big things, right? And if you can accept that there's big things, great things in store for your future, greater things in store, even if you've got it pretty good today, if you can believe there's greater things, because everything can improve. If you believe there's greater things ahead in your future, it gives you hope, gives you a little motivation. And as long as you can stay honest, you can be honest and humble, willing to be wrong. You can believe in anything you want. And I believe.
I have a question.
Please.
You just brought up the word motivation, and what, as the date of possible eviction looms, do you feel your motivation's changing?
What do you mean?
Well, I think you'd said that you've been doing panels or on panels since COVID, so 2019, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
You've been motivated to come here every day and provide a place of knowledge and cheer and holiness and mindfulness. What are your top motivations today?
Surrender. So I've surrendered to where I am. I've reviewed my options, and this seems to be the most logical course for me to take, to try and offer forth value to other human beings. I tried offering forth value in Spokane, and it was rejected. So I'm online trying to offer forth value, and for whatever reason, I've attracted a lot of opposition. We talked about that earlier, that opposition is kind of part of life. And what does that opposition do? It helps you strengthen. And I've been studying. God's been allowing me to learn a lot about me and human behavior. What I've not found yet, well, there's a lot of things I haven't found yet. I believe miracles will be in the future with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to talk about Jack's successes. I mean, Jack was able to do a long form debate and Breakfast Talker's show, and not one of his critics can repeat that feat. None of them has even been in a long form debate.
Thank you, brother. I'm not ashamed of the things I've done. Have there been things I could have done different? Of course. That's all of us.
Absolutely.
Well, this experience has taught me a lot of things, and it's been since 2018. That's when I discovered the idea of trying to live without fear. And it was 2019, I went through the process of registering and researching and securing the trademark and the website with the idea of using the world to prosper, right? Using the ways of the world to prosper, marketing and, value. But so far, I have no testimonials. I mean, that's not true. There's people who clearly say they've received value. There's something going on with all of us. If I'm right, well, the world will actually be happy when something like that comes up. If I can get the attention and if I can get the time and attention with that man, Donald Trump, him and his other associates in Washington, D.C., who are representing, allegedly, the United States, I actually think this is God's will for me.
Would you share a lot of the same information that you shared during the debate the other day?
No, be a different topic and a different audience. Well, it would be similar. Let me not just say an outright no. I believe there would be similarities, but it would be considerably different because it would be considerably different. But
Right. Although you would have to, and I'm assuming that addressing, atheists would have to probably come up if you're trying to spread the word of God and have everyone be open to God and love. Atheism
I think it would be a similar experience in the case of as soon as some opposition gives him some resistance, he was ready to secede right there. He had nowhere to go.
Tommy, I faced nothing but resistance from people since 2018.
But what you're calling resistance is like when I went on Truther Cop last night. Truther Cop wanted to say you helped him stop drinking. But even Paul Enslaved paid people to go on his panel and say, Paul Enslaved saved my life. I was asking Truther Cop to relay the lessons and truths of Jack Talcott that has bestowed value.
So how much did Paul Enslaved pay you that gave him a positive review, Tommy?
I see the things you're saying. You tried to record a private conversation with some of this chat backing you, and I'm not up here to talk to you.
You know,
Tommy,
I'm going to say that I'm going to agree with Tommy a little bit. Not that you want to point out things that you would have done differently, but I think you do need to document successes and things you have done, like Help Truth or Cop. You know,
Thank
But we can help people as people, but for 3 years, this like Jack thinks we're being mean or resisting him when we're saying, Jack, you do the intro every day. You say this is your plan, this is what you want to do, and then tomorrow repeat it. And we
Tom.
never get on to the
Right.
what actually is the plan to end
No.
wars.
Tommy, I've explained it and you've rejected and argued
Now,
every
see,
explanation.
copy, paste. You say
I can explain it now if you stop complaining. I can answer any
Vodka.
questions even. Yes, because you won't.
Coward.
I'm being patient, Tom.
No, I'm being patient.
Let's exercise greater patience.
You want to come over? You want me to fire one up after this, and we'll see how you act whenever you come over when you're not going to get mod godded?
You know
I'm
what?
being patient, Tommy, because you cut me off.
Well, I was here first, Margot. I just came back.
Hey, Tommy.
Margot, did you see your appearance on the radio, Panel Works Radio?
No, I didn't. How did I look?
It was the time you were digging in on Jack.
Oh.
And you looked great, Margot. You clean up well.
Tommy.
Yes, I do.
Sorry to interrupt. I would love to join you later. Okay? Because it would
you
be
would love it.
If you'll do it, if you'll allow it, please.
Yeah, I'll show you that you'll Dr. Jekyll over there.
Well, I'd rather not argue here.
We're not arguing. I'm asking you the same thing I've asked for 3 years that makes you mad. All you got to do is tell me, among 400 warring factions in Africa, what's the plan?
Okay. The goal that I see is...
That's a goal, not a plan.
What's the
I can say I want to score more touchdowns than the other team. That's not the playbook.
No, look, buddy. There's no point in a plan if you don't understand the goal. If you don't have clarity in what you're doing.
We know the goal. 3 years, end wars. We got it. Now what's the playbook?
Okay, the playbook is find and build team, community. We share these ideas. We create a movement, a call to action. There's many ways this could happen.
Like an Occupy Wall Street?
No, like a flooding the phones, flooding the emails, something as simple as that. The lazy ass Americans could make a phone call or send an email.
I don't answer my phone. I don't read emails. Neither do African warlords, I doubt.
Okay.
They capture kids and put them on heroin to make them heroin soldiers.
Well, and Jack, something like that is happening right now with Tesla.
I know. Yes, I know. What are we doing? I want to be...
to quote Jack Talcott, we don't have to do anything.
Right. God's doing it all. So
contradiction, 5-speed.
Our purpose is to be present, to be loving, to be kind. And my patience is really getting tested, okay? So can you guys chill out? And actually, what am I doing? I said I wasn't going to do this, didn't I?
Yes.
Jack, so like one plan right now is to get someone at those Tesla sites, where they're gosh, I can't talk right now. It was a long day. Where they're striking against Tesla, right? If you had some of your people there sharing your message, you'd be likely to find people of like mind.
You'd think so. And that's a possibility. I won't outright refuse it. You'd think so. That's a reasonable assumption, but that has not been the case. What I actually have found, and no offense to anyone who hears this or it might think I'm reflecting on, I've met a lot of people who go to these protests just to tell each other what a great job they're doing, you know, because they stand and they talk. And then they don't follow it up with any actions. They're not trying to communicate with the people they're complaining about. We can all do more. That's kind of the point. And this is what I learned from my experience with the American Postal Workers Union as well. We did rallies. We did get together on the street. And actually, Charles Smith was the guy as state president. He grabbed me when we were protesting the senator's office, me, him, and a couple others. We went in to be the voice for the people out on the street. That's the way to use, majority.
And we do that in our schools when we want more funding or we need different things, or they're threatening to cut our funding. We're doing rallies like that. There's the word I was thinking of, rallies.
Yes. Hey, I just realized, Margot, we've got a great opportunity. Let's pause, and I hope this is all right. Welcome, Noelle. Noelle, you there? I know she's been excited to. I know she enjoys you, Margot, and that's for sure.
Well, continue your show, and when she comes up, I'll still be here.
Oh, wonderful. And you know what? Let me recognize, please, too. Powder Dusty offered a raid. Blessings and greetings to all of you. Sincerely, thank you for joining. And Flo, thank you, brother. I don't know if he may have been in the chat. He might have been one of those that was trying to get up here.
Well, I'm here, so he most definitely was trying to get up here.
Could be. Old Joe, Love Within. What are you feeling?
Hello, sir. I'm always struck by some of the comments that you receive and how people will talk about their efforts to either get through to you or correct you, and how long they try to do this for. Like, what I'm wondering is about motive. I'm wondering about these people that spend this much time and have been unsuccessful, and why they don't give up. I don't know if you have any theories on that, or
it's my theory is we're here to learn from each other. We're here to help one another. The spirit moves us all. And I've been, as I recognize with Margot, I've been learning a lot of things about myself. And that's what we're actually supposed to do. But we focus so much. The world we were born into, it is nuts. Secrets and lies. There is no logic behind our collective enabling of the banking lies, the government lies, and the corporate lies. It makes no sense whatsoever.
do you ever find it difficult to stay positive in the face of an entirely problem-focused individual? Someone who will seek problems no matter what solution is provided.
I think that used to be me to some degree. That's why I was so miserable. And so I see patterns in others, and I've noticed a real ego. We have spirit and ego, right? And I view the ego, that's the reactive one, the emotional one, the one that gets hurt and afraid. And now I took off from where you were at.
I know I cut Margot off when she was talking there, so.
Please, Margot. You had.
Oh, do you believe that Elon Musk's actions are eliminating some secrets?
I don't know enough. I see such foolishness being made, though. These rash decisions. This is tyranny. This is oppression. This is a tyrant going in without regard for simple, just saying, I want this and this is the way it is and rules be damned. Well, I was thinking about that actually.
Isn't that what you want to do, but with different goals?
Yes, exactly. This is what I was thinking about. God has allowed me to learn what the successful people know. You don't limit this has been the esoteric teaching too. This is what the rich kids, they get taught the truth. You don't work for your money. You get others to work for your money. You get money to work for you. You become in control. You become your ruler. You don't obey the rules of others. You find what you want, and then you figure out how to make the rules apply.
You have to earn your place first, though.
Well, this is the game I understand. It's the game Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all these guys, they understand that game. I understand it too, right? But I also know what it's like to have no money and wonder, how am I going to feed myself tomorrow? What am I going to do when the power goes out? I know what it's like. Those guys don't. So all I'm suggesting is that should people find the willingness to help me overcome my housing and my family issues, maybe even my employment disputes, or find a way. I truly believe that my life experience, God created me for this purpose. I am an advocate for the truth. Please help me speak to those who claim to represent you and me in Washington, D.C. Because it's time for the truth to arise. The topic today, awaken from the slumber. And seriously, we can rise and overcome this world together. It's how God created it. Peace is the way. We've got another guest, and I've had healthy conversations. Didn't mean to leave you waiting so long. Welcome back, Snafu.
Jack Tales. Guess what? After your live stream, episode 2's coming out of Jack Tales. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. We did have a good conversation last night, didn't we, Jack?
Mm-hmm. We did. And I think we're getting closer. And so,
and Noel, quit trying to be so annoying.
Here, I didn't share the link to this, but I shared the link to Snafu's channel.
Jack Tales episode 2 is in your backstage.
He's referring to Jack Tales. Oh, is episode 2 already up?
Yeah, episode's ready to, once you're done, it's going live.
All right. Well,
it's put together. It's in your backstage. But I wanted to say, we're going to restream the conversation we had last night. I got to say, Jack, you didn't run off. You didn't, there wasn't no yelling in the Crew or the Truth Yo conversation with Jack Talcott. I mean, there was. People got triggered. I mean, that's internet shit. But you know what I'm saying, compared to all these fucktards online, what you usually deal with. Even Margot showed up.
Hi, Snafu.
Hello, Margot. So I do got to warn you, you did piss off. Well, in this portion of Jack Tales, we're hearing from Charles, of course. There's going to be many people from your past in the Jack Tales series. But just remember, you kind of pissed him off because you called him an idiot or some shit yesterday. And he was watching. So it should be quite interesting to hear what Jack Tales 2 episode brings. And I guess it's about the punishment, the postal office, because we're going to lead all the way up to why you got fired, the cupcake and the bomb in the postal office, the whole works. But because of you triggering, I think he's going to talk about the punishments, in his opinion, of course, his opinion of the postal office.
Hey, Jack, I'm going to drop down, okay?
Thank you for joining, Margaret.
Hey, Divine Spark.
Have a wonderful
Bye,
day.
Snafu. We'll see you later.
I'm the only one connecting Jack to have an opportunity to talk to people in his past. So, Jack, correct Divine Spark about politics here? Because I don't see any of these people on the panel who even has anyone from your past that's even bringing you the chance to talk to them. You might want to correct Divine there.
Yeah, you're a unique one, Snafu, that's for sure. So let me here. Snafu, please pause. I'll share the link for Jack Tales Part 2. Charles Smith gets to talk about Jack. And now keep in mind, Charles Smith has not spoken. The last few times we communicated, his memory was off on dates and events, as near the end of the last stream. And near the end of the last stream, that was also near the last time Charles Smith ever experienced Jack. He sure as hell never allowed himself to experience Jack's friendship since then. I did reach out to Charles Smith on a day that was very dark for myself. I reached out to him in a time of need, believing he might be a friend. And he chose to judge me and condemn me and tell me what a failure I was. So yeah, I'm curious to hear the story that others are telling about a man they pushed away.
Jack tells, woohoo!
Woohoo! All right.
By the way, the subject.
I'm gonna bump you out and continue on. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. You got to be real with these people, though. Divine putting that comment up.
Thank you. Okay. The comment about why should we care about Jack's past? Well, I actually support that, Snafu, because if you listen to me today, yeah, my heart hurts. I miss my son. I miss my friends. I miss the security of having economic prosperity. I miss having money. Those things are true, but don't take it wrong. It's not my priority. My priority is peace on earth. Now, I'm pretty confident that I could do a lot more in the community or in the world if I wasn't alone in my life. And I've got long distance support, but there's literally no reason for people in Spokane to avoid me, just like there's no reason for people like Tommy and Snafu and Steven and Banana and all these other people to publicly mock me. There's no reason for it. Hank, thank you for the contribution. Do we really need friends like Officer Snaps who have no boundaries and wants to grape and knife us? No, I really don't. Golly geez. Hank's doing that from the backstage too. So thank you, Hank. What do we do, guys? Sincerely.
You know, if you could bear it, Jack.
Here, look within. You were going to say something?
No, I was asking, what do we do with what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
With whom? No, you good, man. I just wanted to come up and say hi to you and show you some real life shit. That's all.
You, Jack.
Okay.
I'm like this nice guy.
Now, whenever old Joe asked, what do you do about these people that try and wreck you and persist? Let me answer you, Joe. See, actually, long ago when we started doing these panels, Jack was getting harassed by the cult of the unslaved. I was Jack's friend. And that friendship has watched him grab every new stranger and say, hey, that Illumitami guy, fuck him, he's garbage. And toss every new stranger that might hear him out and say, no, Jack, you are a victim. You are correct. You will end wars. Like, I don't let Hank give me autistic power money. And when you accept that money, you're garbage. And Hank's more garbage every time he sends it.
Tom, does it feel good to have those opinions?
No, I'm telling you what's happening. I'm your friend for trying to save you a humiliation ritual trip to DC. Now, when you say we're going to end secrets, how about starting with the playbook?
Which play? Oh, the playbook. Yes. Well, there's many ways. It can happen either through online.
Right. How's your way?
What's that?
How is your way? Because that's what you're taking to Congress.
My way is that I actually follow the advice of many people, and I kick the dust off the sandals, so to say, and I walk away from you, Tommy, you, Stephen.
And that ends wars.
No, it ends my wars. It ends my battles that I didn't start. I didn't start battles with you. I'm not going to argue here, Tom. Please, with respect, I would be grateful if you'll host a stream. You can throw me in the back a bunch if you want. I'll be there to support you. But this isn't the time or place. My intention is to make this more productive in our use of time. At least Monday through Friday.
Well, I was just going to ask him a question, but if you've kept him down there, that's fine. That might be more productive. My question would be what his suggestions are. What does he suggest for moving forward? Because it seems to be a lot of criticism. But if you notice, when I ask questions of Tommy, we get very little in terms of concrete answers. So I think this is a learned behavior. It's a deconstructionism, not just on his part, but it's quite common to not offer answers yourself, but then be very critical of anybody who does. And so Tommy fascinates me, quite honestly. He does. I believe the guy is authentic. I'm interested in knowing what he thinks a little more. I think he interprets it as criticism, but it's not.
Honestly, I'm not convinced he's authentic, but he's been pretty clear about what he wants Jack to do. He pretty much wants Jack to shut down the show and pretty much just do anything else Tommy tells him at the time.
Well, this is it. This is it, Hank. And I get that impression as well, but I don't know Tommy as well as you do. I don't hear any suggestions for building and moving forward. I hear, don't do this, don't do that. This is wrong, that's wrong. And that's a form of control. Like, I'll give you an example. The mod god comment is all about undercutting your ability to monitor your own channel. That's exactly what that's about. And it doesn't come from a good place. But then I think some of his stuff does come from a good place too. Although that's just my impression, Hank, you know him better than I do. So
see, Joe, your humility. That's your humility and patience. It shines in my mind. And Tommy, he's got a great heart. Many people, I'm telling you, for those who might be new to the Jack Talcott channel and these live streams, holy cows, the cast of people that have come through. What an amazing, incredible, just unbelievable characters. There's drama, there's humor, there's disappointment, there's frustration, then there's chaos, and in between it all, there's a little bit of wisdom being shared too. And that's what I want to focus on, honestly.
So, I'm not convinced that Tommy, Snafu, Steven have good hearts, at least from my experience. They're ready to criticize you and other people. They do whatever they criticize worse than the people they're criticizing.
Well,
deep down in there, there's a good heart. Come on, Hank.
Yeah,
give him some credit.
Yeah, but no, I think Hank is on to something. I don't know if I would say that about all three of those individuals, but I do know, at least it's my opinion, that there are a couple that come in here entirely inauthentically and have said so themselves. And what I'm wondering, what I'm trying to suss out is what they're getting out of being here. Is it just as simple as jacking around like a kid in class looking for attention? I mean, I've seen that, right? Where you get misbehaviors that just want attention and don't know any way to get it other than negative ways. Is it that simple, or are they taking something from this? That's the question I have.
It's a little of both. It's truly a little of both. I mean, Tommy's not stupid. He's very intelligent, but he's kind of missing out on a few things because of the patterns. And this is what I've realized. I realized it in different characters at different ways. The ego is the part that disagrees. And people get caught up in their identity of blame, distraction, deflection. This is what the elite know how to do as well. That's why they have power. It's the egoic control. It's fighting for control. And when people, what I believe I've been witnessing is people, this pattern of judging others. I can only imagine how it is inside. When I was real judgmental, oh, I was a son of a bitch to myself. I was cruel. And we carry over. People who have wounds in their hearts, people who are hurt, share hurt. People who are inspired, share inspiration. People who are grateful, share gratitude, right? This is who we are. We are that which we become into being. And if we humble ourselves to the truth, God is with us. We do not need to be fighting for control over each other. That's the satanic agenda. Simple as that in my mind.
All righty. Well, I just popped back because I saw that interaction before I jumped off again. Thanks for having me up again. That was awesome. Good conversation. We'll talk to you guys later.
Joe, before you go, who were you hoping to talk to?
Well, I've
got
been accused of being naive on here, and perhaps I am, but I really do think that Illumitami is different than some of these other people that are just up here jacking around. I really do believe that. I think that he is authentic, but sometimes gets trapped in an ego trap, like you say, and then uses strategies to get out of
I
it. May not be
think that
helpful.
you and I have had some good conversations that whenever you get away from me, you give another spin of how you saw that going, and you do offend me when you review what you think our exchange of words was. Now, I coined the term mod god, and this term means to backstage and censor someone simply because they're giving you information that contradicts what you want to be true. It's not that any of us were snafuing out or being rambunctious. Jack didn't like the words coming out of my mouth.
Tommy, do you know what the term gish galloping means?
Why aren't any of you pressing Jack for what exactly happens once he gets to DC?
Okay, I will address that. I'll ask him straight up. But you made one point and then you moved on to another
Be careful.
without allowing
He's
me
going to
to
get
address it.
mad. He's going to get mad, Joe.
We're
Be
not
careful.
here to be goalies. We're not here to block other people from their goals.
No.
We're here to encourage.
Well, Jack is here telling us that he's doing a thing and he's out to do another thing and he's bringing value. I'm simply questioning what that is.
But let me take it back to your criticism of me and that I represent myself one way on your panel or when I'm having conversations with you
That's
in
not what
another
I
way.
said. This is my thing.
So my position is, and I have always been straight up with this position, I do not think you're in here acting, but I do think you have some unhealthy ways in the way you deal with a conversation. Now you may make that same criticism about me, but I am in here saying I see a difference between you and the other people that are in here playing games. I'll stick to that.
Definitely. There's a difference between Hank and everybody, as
No,
they're
but
not
it's specific.
certain.
It's a specific
Joe,
difference in that
you
I'm
may
saying I'm
sense.
but just
You
wait,
may
Tommy. I'm
sense.
saying, but Tommy, if I don't get this out, the conversation loses meaning. I'm saying
That's
I
how
believe
I
you.
feel in the backstage.
Okay, but you just cut me off again. I'll say one sentence, then I'll stop. I'm saying I believe you are more
Cut Joe
authentic.
off.
I'm saying I believe you're more authentic than those other people. That's what I'm saying.
And what's that matter?
It matters a huge amount because if you have somebody coming on and
To
saying
you?
they're playing a, well, hang on. See, you have this. You
Listen,
asked me a
listen.
question.
Tommy, you can learn how to stop interrupting people.
I'll answer him and then you can bring him back up if you like, because I think part of him does want to know the answer to that question, which is fine. What difference does it make? The difference it makes is who am I directing my questions at? Am I directing at a character, as some of the people in here have said I am? Well, then I'm talking to a hand puppet. I'm not having a real conversation. If I'm directing them at the real person, then the conversation to me is meaningful. I will tell you right now, I've come in here and I'll name King Stephen and had completely disingenuous conversations with him, intentionally from my side, because I knew he was gameplay. But I have not done so with Tommy. So if he wants to come up and answer, I'm more than willing to listen now.
He left. He
Oh
left.
no, that's too bad.
Hopefully he'll do something later. Again, you're doing well trying to communicate, and here's what helps: humanity. Clarity brings us peace. And it's really easy to get excited about things we think, and we may not have clarity. And this is a question where God has allowed me to get humbled. How do you know when you've learned enough to judge? How do you know when you've learned enough to condemn? How do you know? I was shown I thought I knew things, politics, economics. I thought religion wasn't understandable. I was wrong about a lot. But what I'm not wrong about is love. I'm not wrong about my experience that love leads us to the answers. We find what we seek. If you don't allow your heart to lead you, you're going to close yourself down. You'll shut yourself down. And I think that's what we're seeing online. A lot of people who have shut themselves down in the past. And so they're getting attention, right? They're getting attention, and it's their moment to be seen.
Well, and this is the thing. There's a difference between comedy and sarcasm and irony, which are signs of intelligence if you use them appropriately. Like I'll name King Stephen again. Sometimes his comedy, the way he uses irony and sarcasm, I mean, he has me rolling with some of his jokes. But the difference comes in when the motive is not meant kindly or friendly or positively. If you start looking to jack people around, then I think you've lost your way. That's my opinion anyways.
Yes.
And so I think, go ahead, Hank, sorry.
You finished your statement.
Well, that was it. I was just going to say, I believe it says in the Bible that God hates liars. And we talk about the truth often, and I do believe in truth. And I think people that purposely misrepresent it are really doing a disservice to those people around them. Sorry, Hank, go ahead. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah. So the reason I came to my conclusion with Tommy is that I used to be in good terms with Tommy until he just got angry, just wanted to take control over me like he does other people. I even coined the term mod spook because he actually exempted himself from the definition of mod god. So I pretty much had to make another term that I call myself for he can be in this group that he belongs in for his behavior. So it's just he just has a long pattern just trying to control people, which is why I don't think he's that's why I think he's disingenuous.
And like I say, Hank, you have more experience than I do, so I'm a new guy here. Hey, thanks a lot for having me up, and I guarantee I won't be back today anyways, but I look forward to seeing you if you stream tomorrow.
Blessings, old Joe. I appreciate you. We are coming up around the 2-hour mark anyway, so it might be perfectly timed. Thank you sincerely.
That counts my last words too. See you later, Jack.
Hank, blessings to you. I appreciate you sincerely for your support up here in the chat and the contributions. Sincerely. Thank you, Hank. Other thoughts? Noel? Look within?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to come up and say hi. Like I said, saw you getting a little frustrated. Figured I'd come up support you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
See you, brother. I'll step down.
Enjoy the sun, man. It looks amazing and beautiful where you are. And Noel, I'm trusting that it's beautiful and amazing where you are as well. I haven't heard from you, so I'm going to toss you to the back too. And thank you all who joined the panel. And I won't forget, Snafu.
What?
Yes, I'm going to promote and share to your stream.
Oh, that's not. I just wanted to say it's a shame that before I got backstage, I was actually going to ask you topic of the channel, and you brought all these fucktards on, and they completely just wasted your time. No topic of your subject, nothing like that. Whether they hate me or not, folks, I'm the one that talks to Jack personally, but none of you guys are doing what he's asking. So help him out, do what he needs, and Jack tells woohoo. We'll find out what's up. But I just want to say I was ashamed at everyone on your panel avoiding the topic of discussion. Like, I know you backstage me prematurely probably, but I was asking you topic of discussion, and then I got backstage. Not one of those people on the panel brought up your topic. I just want to point that out. So
I know.
It's a shame. But you know what? As you said last night, every day is a new day. We talked about that. Every day is a new day, right?
Yes, it is. All right. Your audio is breaking up. I'm going to drop you out. I shared part 2 of the interview or the words from Charles Smith. I'll probably be tuning in myself, if not with a live premiere, I'll find it later, because these are people in my life. I considered that man a brother at one time. I am still loyal. I am still loyal to the friendship of Charles Smith, despite me calling him selfish. This is the personal experience I have. And let me correct it. The man is very, very generous. He's lived a life of service, and he's done a lot of commendable, honorable things. I honor Charles Smith. So if you have interest in me on the Jack Talcott story and you want to know some more details, well, golly gee, Snafu is doing the work. Check it out. We'll see what that brings. And let me be respectful so that respect might be returned. Stephen, thank you for your patience and your return.
You're welcome. Are you going to apologize for calling me a leech?
Well, before I apologize, do you understand why I said it?
Because you're a narcissistic leech.
Okay,
you're
if that's what you believe, then of course you demand or insist upon an apology because you've convicted me already. But do you care to know why I said what I said?
Why did you say it?
I asked you, do you care to know?
Yes, I care to know. Why did you say it?
I described you as a leech because it was the first word that came to mind. You're not alone. I don't judge you for it. But a leech finds something and it sucks on it to bring its own life. And it doesn't really offer a lot of value. And that's what I feel you've been doing to me. And you're not alone. You've been joining me, claiming to help me, claiming to do this, but the frustration, my repeated requests for you to change, for you to do better, they've been ignored. So I stand behind my description of the past. Now, if you're committed to changing what I'm allowed to receive from you, you know, assuming I let you back up in the future, I'll apologize.
I didn't get an apology out of that. Do you
Right.
want an enemy? I'm asking you a direct question.
Tell you what, I already explained.
Kissing up to Snafu,
Stephen,
and he accuses you of being
Stephen, what I have a problem with you is your lack of respect towards me, and your lack of respect towards me is being reflected to you. You're put in the back because you were over speaking me. While I was long-winded, you dismissed what I said to go back to your manipulative tactics. Now, what I said in regard to the apology that you're seeking, when I see a commitment from you that things will be different, I will certainly humble myself and honor you. Now, you continue to bring your tactics of trying to manipulate me. You want to threaten me? Are you going to be an enemy of me? You're out of your mind, Stephen. I've entertained your foolishness and your selfishness long enough today. I stand behind my words, and you get to do as you wish. I was going to wrap up. JG, what's going on, man?
That was good stuff. That is the Jack Talcott I like to see. Shitting on Steven. Get him, Jack. Get him, Jack. Run home, Jack.
All right. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm not trying to shit on anyone. I'm not trying to diminish people, but I do know there's no denying what is true, brothers and sisters. From my personal testimony, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to accept me. But if you consider these words for yourself, you may come to the same conclusion. God is true. Love is true. Love is available right here, right now. The light of God is within you for you to shine. The light of God is trueness. The light of God is goodness. Shine your light truly, powerfully, with goodness, but it's with humility. That light of goodness, that opportunity you learned of a problem in the world, and you can see the solution. That idea was uniquely given to you. You get to be the instruments and tools for the ongoing development and process of creation. You are a creator here to create. You are an imagination here to imagine. You are a memory here to create memories. So, brothers and sisters, be true. Awaken from your slumber. Seek the light of truth wherever you are, because with comfort in the truth of the present moment of who you are, inviting in the Spirit of Christ to be with you, to fill you, so that the light of God is with you. That's what I'm trying to do. And I pray the words might speak to your heart, that you might feel a little comfort, that you might feel a little bit of excitement, anticipation for what the future might bring for you. Because, brothers and sisters, we're all in this together, and I am excited, truly excited to discover what our future will bring. Thank you again. If you're new here, please do the subscribe, do the like, invite others, tell others, because there's something special. There's something special. Especially if we believe there's something special, you'll find it. This is what I found in my own life. Look for the special, the uniqueness, even in the same old problem, and you'll discover something new. Brothers and sisters, thank you. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.